Hey mamas, welcome back to yoga. Today we're going to do a quick, gentle postpartum yoga flow. Just before you begin, make sure you've been cleared by your doctor for physical activity. Otherwise, let's begin. All right, so let's get started in a comfortable seated position. I'm just sitting on the mat with my legs crossed, but feel free to sit on a block or a bolster if you have any of those handy. Let's go ahead and close our eyes. Maybe you rest your palms of your hands on your knees and start to get connected with your breath. Take an inhale and exhale. Another inhale and exhale. And continue breathing like this with your eyes closed on your own, at your own pace. And start to focus on your breath. Focus on your body. And take these next few moments to focus on your yoga practice and let any other thoughts racing through your mind just start to disappear. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. And then gently blink your eyes open. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Reach up tall. Maybe you interlace your fingers and face your palms towards the ceiling. And just breathe into that stretch, really elongating your spine. And then bring your arms down and interlace your fingers behind your back. And pull your arms backwards, really squeezing your shoulder blades together and opening up the front of your chest. And then finally, reach your arms forward. Maybe you stack one hand over the other and interlace your fingers and arch your back, really separating out your shoulder blades here and feeling that nice stretch in your shoulders, in your neck. And then bring your hands down, roll your shoulders up and back. And we'll add a little bit of movement in with our arms here. So we're gonna extend out our arms, flick our wrist, come back and pump our elbows backwards. So extend, pump back, extend, pump back. And keep doing that and feel that stretch and that opening in of your chest and that stretch in your back. And then also getting some movement in our wrists, which are probably tight if we are constantly carrying a baby. All right, we've got 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna take eagle arms. So we're gonna take our right arm underneath our left and interlace them together. If you're able to get the palms of your hands to touch, that's awesome. Otherwise, this works just as well, keeping your forearms together, your elbows, and your palms of your hands together. Whichever one is most accessible to you, go ahead and take that, and we'll add some movement by moving our elbows up and down, really feeling that stretch in our shoulders and in our backs. And maybe you take some eagle arm circles. And then the other way. And then we'll switch out our arms here. So this time that left arm will come underneath the right. And again, we'll just move our arms up and down. And then we'll take some arm circles. I feel like my shoulders are constantly being utilized and stretched, or they need to be stretched out after carrying a baby all day long, after feeding them. And so this feels amazing. All right, go ahead, wiggle those out, and then let's make our way into tabletop. So here, your shoulders are above your wrists, your hips are above your knees. And let's take a couple of cat-cow poses here. So inhale for cow, sink your stomach towards the ground. Open up your chest towards the front of the room, the front of your mat. And then exhale for cat, push the ground away, arch your back towards the ceiling. Separate out your shoulder blades. And again, inhale for cow. And exhale, cat. Keep moving like this for a few more breaths on your own, at your own pace. And feel free to add any additional movements that may feel good to you, whether that's shaking your head from side to side, shaking your hips from side to side. Maybe do some hip circles. All right, and on your next breath, let's come back to neutral. We're going to inhale our right arm up to the ceiling, keeping our left hand planted. Take a nice inhale here, and then exhale, thread the needle. Place your arm underneath your left elbow. If it's accessible for you, bring your right ear towards the mat. Make sure your hips are still square to the floor. And breathe into that nice stretch in your right side body, your right back. And then come back to center. We're going to take our right leg and step it up in between the palms of our hands and inhale our arms up for crescent moon. So your left knee is still on the mat, your right knee is above your right ankle, your arms are up towards the ceiling. Sorry you can't see me. And then we'll inhale, cactus our arms back, arch our back towards the ceiling, or arch our back towards the floor, and open your heart up towards the ceiling. Come back up to center. And then place your left hand down on the inside of your right foot and inhale your right arm up to the ceiling for an easy twist. Come back to center and pull your hips backwards, straightening out your right foot for a hamstring stretch, a little half split here. And then inhale, come back up to center. Put your foot back so that your knee is underneath your hips. And we'll do it on the other side. So keep your right hand planted and inhale your left arm up towards the ceiling. Take a nice breath here. And then on your next exhale, thread the needle. Move your left arm underneath your right armpit. And then come back up to center. We'll take our left leg here and step your left foot through in between the palms of your hands, and then inhale up for crescent moon. Exhale, cactus your arms back, arch your back if you can, and then inhale, come back up to center. Bring your right hand down to the mat and inhale your left arm up. Lower down your hand and then inhale back for a hamstring stretch, straightening out your left leg. Bring your hips back. And then come back up to center, bringing your left knee back towards your right knee. And now we're going to sit back for child's pose. So you can spread out your knees a little bit wider if you'd like. Bring your big toes to touch. Lower down your hips towards your heels and reach your arms and your torso towards the front of the mat. Really breathe into this nice stretch of your hips and of your back, and take a few breaths here to relax and reconnect with your breath and your mind and your body. On your next inhale, slowly make your way back up. And we're gonna go ahead and lay down on our backs. So let's go ahead and lay down flat on our backs, and we're gonna activate our core here. So the best way to think about activating your core postpartum is squeezing in your transverse abdominal muscles in towards the center and then up and back. So keeping your lower back flat on the mat is a great way to start. And this is going to seem very basic, but you're totally going to feel it if this is one of your first workouts after having a baby. So the first thing we're going to do, what we're going to do here is we're going to straighten out our right leg, and we're going to keep our head flat on the mat. So your arms can either be behind your head, acting as a pillow, or they can be down by your side. And all we're going to do is bend our right knee up and then straighten it back down. But the most important thing to focus on here is keeping your lower back flat on the mat. So jump in whenever you're ready and really just focus on your core, focus on keeping your back flat on the mat. And if you're a little bit more advanced, you can always lift your head off the mat. Keep your chin pointed towards the ceiling. You don't want to scrunch your chin towards your chest. You want to keep it pointed up. And if you still want a little bit more, you can bend your right leg or bend your right knee. But the best thing to do is just start with everything flat on the mat. And we'll go ahead and do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. If that was your first core activation since having a baby, I'm sure you felt that. So kudos to you, Mama. We're doing our right leg now. So our left leg is straight and our right foot is just coming off the mat, bending our right knee and straightening it again. And of course, do this at your own pace. You can do faster or slower. And we'll do 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So my little one woke up from her nap, but we're gonna still keep going. I brought her down in her little snuggle me, and we're gonna do a little mommy and me for the rest of the class. So we've just finished working out our core. We're gonna take a couple of bridge poses here. So we'll plant our feet with our knees bent. Maybe bring your hands down to the side of your hips, and then inhale, lift your hips towards the ceiling. Imagine squeezing a block in between your knees just to activate your core a little bit more. And then lower back down. And then we'll take another inhale up for bridge. Of course, it's never too early to introduce your little ones to yoga. And exhale, lower back down. And we're just gonna do this one more time. Inhale for bridge. Activate your core. Squeeze your glutes together. And then and lower back down. All right, and lastly, we're gonna take a recline twist here. So I love doing this now that we are allowed to lay on our backs after such a long time of not being allowed to lay on our backs while we were pregnant. So let's go ahead and straighten out our legs. And then take your right knee and hug it into your chest, hug it into your right shoulder. And then on your exhale, roll it over. Bring your right knee towards the left side of your mat and the outside of your left leg. And maybe you open up your right arm out towards the right side so that your shoulder is moving towards the mat or is flat on the mat. Just breathe into this nice, gentle twist. Come back to center and we'll switch out our legs. So straighten your right leg out, hug your left knee into your left shoulder, and then gently guide your left knee across your body onto the right side of the mat and stretch your left arm open, reaching your left shoulder towards the mat. And just breathe into this twist, this gentle twist of your spine. And then come back into center. Hug both knees into your chest and rock from side to side, just massaging out your lower back. And then on your next exhale, lower everything down. And inhale, take one big good morning stretch, reaching your toes towards the bottom of the mat and your fingers towards the top of the mat. And I encourage you to stay here in Shavasana if you have time. If your kiddos are napping, take advantage of that and spend a few minutes just breathing and relaxing and appreciating the stillness. But if you're like me, then your little one's awake, might not be as relaxing. So thank you so much for joining me today. I've definitely missed doing these yoga classes. You can expect to see some more from me. And thanks again. Have a great day. Namaste.